middle of a squat right now. You're in the middle of a bench press right now. You got one of two choices. You can bail, you can fail, or you can adapt. Today, Mornings in the Lab, we talk about adaptability. Here we go. Yep, it's that time of the day again where the sound starts, the loop begins, and it's another day in the gym. Good morning, nation. Put the tip jar on the counter and say, hey, when Uncle Keith says, you're going to get $5. When old Johnny says, you're going to get $10.
My office is the world, brother.
I woke up and I was heading to the gym this morning and the old inbox thingy went. I was like, oh, what's this? That's exciting to me. So a little over a week, 10 days ago, we were at 45,000 views. We're up to 75,000 now, team. So we are doing the right things. We're all about accountability. We're all about helping you achieve what you want to achieve without hitting the snooze buttons. Google has a product called Notebook LLM. It's a large language model based on a notebook. None of it was real. Nothing of what you heard existed or happened in real life.
I literally picked out that it was not a person, and I said point blank, I said, you're not a real person, are you?
Really?
Yeah, and the AI said, no, I'm not a real person.
If I phone you for asking for money, it's not me.
Yeah, literally, point blank.
I'm not going to ask you for money over the phone. It's very easy for somebody to make Tina. It's very easy for somebody to make Marty. It's very easy for somebody to make Keith.
I can't tell you how many there's been. I've had copycat Instagram pages, copycat Facebook pages, to where one of these book pages was actually reaching out to my old customers from a fake page.
Control your narrative. If you want to be out there, if you want to be building a personal brand, if you don't fill in the story, somebody else will.
You want more success? Break those old habits. You want better results? Change the way you think. You want a different life? I have an idea for you. Start doing things differently. Because if you're not willing to hold yourself accountable for the life you want, you can't expect things to change because they're not going to happen by accident. Actions speak louder than those thoughts. There's the accountability check-in coming to you here in the role in the Mornings in the Lab show.
When you treat people that way at a fucking job, it's disgusting. And the company that I used to work for used to tell us all the time, if you don't like it, there's 100 people waiting for your fucking job. When my employees go to work, I want their family.
Human, you are a child. You now come to the office so we can supervise you and put you to work. We don't trust that you're able to do your work remotely. I want your family to love where you're going to work and where you're spending your time.
You can build a cash flowing business online in a much different way.
Because the companies can't sell their buildings, so they need to have them back in office. The value of our business is not as high as it used to be because there's nobody in our building. And because we can't lease the floors below it, the last time I checked, some of the greatest pieces of art and music were created collaboratively. So this whole argument that you can't create and you can't collaborate in the same room is bullshit.
One generation left, and you cannot boss these people around. It's not going to happen.
They're driven by purpose. It doesn't make a difference where they're going to work because they're going with the idea that they've got something, they're making a difference.
Work should not be defined by a place. Work should be defined by results. He builds things brick by brick by brick. And we all know to build things with strength, we got to build a strong foundation.
What were you drinking, my friend?
I was drinking a Pepsi.
Just own it.
We're talking about the brutal reality of business today. And you know what, guys? Success isn't guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. We all wake up, we try to do our things. It's not guaranteed.
If you have to face changing that vision, even though that is 100% a guarantee, what you start with will not be what you end up with, your ego takes a really big hit.
Jeff Bezos is quoted as saying the best entrepreneurs don't change. The best entrepreneurs don't adapt.
I can sit here and bitch about it, or I can make my reality better than what it's supposed to be. I had to create my own positive environment because I didn't have that gym community anymore.
First off, you have to make sure that you've got the balls to be taking those steps every day.
Yes.
And if that part's in place, then the little pivot of the step is just a natural part of the process to be successful.
It's not about really worrying about, oh yeah, I just hit 250 on the bench. Good for you. Are you going to 255 next? How are you going to adapt to hit 255, to hit 260? We talk about Rich, right? And how Rich had to adapt after losing his arm in Iraq, coming back to America, and he's, holy fuck, I only got one arm now. I got to do something about this.
If boring and simple works, let's do boring and simple because sexy and quick, they didn't get you sexy and real.
You know what's sexy? Is the guy that has the balls to do the shit that's not sexy every day. And this is a piece of advice that I got when I was younger. And I cannot tell you how big of a difference it made in all areas of my life. Remember, always work harder on yourself than you do at your job.
Protein is your most important. That's the most important macronutrient. We need that more than anything else.
If we put kerosene in the gas tank, would we wonder why it didn't run properly or broke down? Of course not, because the car was designed to run on gasoline. Processed foods. Our bodies were not designed to burn processed foods efficiently. My body doesn't want pizza. I eat pizza, I feel like I'm terrible, man. I feel awful. Shit, I eat pizza, I wake up the next day feeling awful, because that's, to me, my body doesn't run on that shit. I eat only whole, real foods, and I want those whole, real foods. To me, if it's processed, my body doesn't want it.
Just have a bag of nuts in your pocket.
Your personal brand is not built on emotional exposure. It's built on clarity and purpose and intention. Yes, 100% your traumas are real and they're valid, but not every story is meant for public consumption, and not everyone is entitled to your story.
In a world of fakeness, in a world of AI generated content, we are living in a world where we don't know what's real, we don't know what's fake, we don't know who's real, we don't know who's not real.
If you move, if your body moves, and if you eat properly and you sleep properly, all of this fucking shit that we're talking about just drifts away like a fart in the wind.
Just put the work in, just show up. And as Johnny said before, get moving. And sometimes movement creates momentum.
If you work on yourself, which means eat right, which means a little exercise, that's all part of working on yourself. All this shit just drifts away. Don't say you don't have time. Say you don't want to do it. What I learned in the gym, I just carried that into business. I carried it into everything, but especially into strongman. When I learned to literally go out there and pursue failing is when I really started to excel. When you're getting your ass kicked, you're getting better. You can take one more breath. You can take one more step. You can get one more rep until you don't. And usually when all the dust settles, you've made it further than you did before.
Those seconds of ass whooping pain make you feel exceptional for the other 24 hours of the day, and lean into that, because there's somebody right now that's about to fucking do something. We're living in a world now where there's more fake content out there than ever. So be wary of the phone calls being made into your house.
If you're out there right now, you're building this body of work, you're building this content, nobody is going to be able to question you, your intentions, your values, your morals, and the way in which you're building.
When you find yourself not wanting to do something, it's almost a guarantee that's what you should be doing.
Biggest, hairiest, audacious goals in your life with stacking habits day after day. Team,